Hey everyone, TheGamingChief here. Today I'm just going to be doing a quick video on how to add the new Livonia map to your existing DayZ Standalone Server. So before we begin, I just want to say I'm starting off where I left off in my last DayZ video. It really shouldn't matter if you are following along with the video series or not, as long as you have a working DayZ Standalone server. But if you're looking for some DayZ Standalone server tutorials, I highly recommend watching my tutorial series. Links are in the description, and it is on the right hand side of your screen right now. As you can see, we're currently on my server that I have set up. This is Trinaris, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to log out, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on the process of switching to the new map. The actual act of switching maps is a pretty simple process, but the first thing you gotta do is make sure that your server is updated to the latest version. In my case, mine already is because I use those automated scripts that update the server whenever the server starts, so that's out of the way. I already have the latest version of DayZ installed. Inside of your DayZ server folder, you have an MP missions folder, right here. This folder holds all of your DayZ missions, and each folder has the map it's made for at the end of the folder name. Now that I have updated my server to the latest version, you can see the DayZ offline.nnoc folder. Don't ask me why it's called that, I really don't know. It's just the name the game uses for the new map. And it's important to note that all player data is stored in this folder, along with some other configurations that you may have changed. So it's important to note a few things. So this means whenever you switch maps, you'll be on a new database and players will not have their gear. Now some people may be tempted to copy over this storage folder. However, I highly recommend you do not do that because it stores quite a lot of information that shouldn't be going onto a different map. An example of this is this database stores player location as well. So if you copy the database over to the new folder, the new mission folder, players will spawn wherever they would in Trinaris, but instead on the new map. This can lead to players spawning in the middle of nowhere or even inside of objects. It's just something I highly recommend avoiding if you can. It's not that bad to have a new database. So it's important to note you probably did make changes. So say your database, if you made changes to any of these files, or say you edited your init.c file or any of these other files, again, I highly recommend you do not copy it over because these files are modified for the new map. If you did make changes, you should just go ahead and go to the new folder and remake those changes in here. Don't copy and paste the file over just because you're going to overwrite some of the new changes, so you won't have certain spawns, bears, stuff like that. They won't spawn correctly. So again, just avoid copying anything over and just manually make any edits you need to make. Now that we have the long, boring disclaimer and warning covered, let's go ahead and change the map. So we're going to need to access our server DayZ config file, which I have stored in the root. So I'm going to go and right click on this, and I'm just going to edit this with Notepad++, use it with any editor. And then we're going to go all the way down to the bottom here, and this is how you can see what map it is on. In this case, it's still currently named Trinaris Plus, which is as expected because we're on Trinaris. So we can go back into MP missions, and we can go on here, rename or manually type it, copy this over, and then we're just going to paste it in here in our template. And then we're going to go ahead and save. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and start my server using my start script. Now that a server has launched, we can go ahead and minimize out of our remote connection, open up the launcher, and then we can go and rejoin the server. And as you can see, we are in game now on the new map, and there's just a town right over here. And that's about it. It's pretty easy to switch maps. You just got to be aware of the changes, such as with the database. But other than that, it's a pretty simple switch. And that's about it. I do plan to have some more videos out, probably a video about traders coming soon, some common mistakes while making servers, a few other things coming soon, and that's about it. Have a good day.